welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, May 6, 2019. I am Yvette Boynes with the details. The banana industry has played a pivotal role in the economy of SVG for a number of years, and with a significant investment, it is hoped that the ailing industry can return to some form of prominence. Today, the government signed an agreement with the Republic of China on Taiwan, which is expected to facilitate the revitalization of the banana industry. The project, which is worth around $4 million, is focused on increasing the unit input of banana plantations through the upgrading of farmers' cultivation capacity and the capacity of the Ministry of Agriculture Extension officers. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar said the banana industry forms part of SVG's agricultural tradition, in which the past created livelihoods for a number of farmers. He said though the government has been diversifying the industry, banana still remains an important crop to the industry.
There are other things you could do with bananas, and this government, we have always noted that even though our quest is to establish a diversification production platform where there are many other commodities on the platform, that there will always be an important role for bananas. No one could say that the Minister of Agriculture only speaking about medicinal cannabis, or he only speaking about cocoa or coffee. Nobody could say that. Well, you could say that, but it would be unfair to me if you say that, because this industry is a part of our culture, and we have to do everything to ensure that it is continued.
Caesar said the revitalization project aims at improving the quantity of bananas for export and also boosting the production of products made from bananas.
Flour. And even though I don't, as a Christian advocate, rose the consumption of anything that could, it says here, not go drink and get drunk, you know. It says it on it. But we have a liquor from banana. This seems like the one I will, it's 12%, so it's still too high. But we have a banana wine. Here we are seeing, we are not only discussing the exportation of the raw material, but we are discussing the issue of the flour, the liquor, the wine. And I'm certain that if you had time, you would have provided some of the banana chips and different things, the candied bananas. So we see that the industry is evolving.
The Agriculture Minister said he is confident that investment in the industry will lead to an increase in supply in bananas, and that the ministry will carefully monitor the progress of the project and secure regional and extra-regional markets when needed.
I want to thank WINFA for the work that they're doing in securing a market for several farmers in the region. But if we are spending a lot of money investing to expand, there will be a need for more markets. Just want to put that in the context. Once you invest in production, there will be an increase in supply. And if you don't have an increase in the markets and the marketing arrangement, and you have an oversupply, the prices will fall. So what we want to do is that we want to ensure that we monitor the growth and the success of the project, and that at the right time we have everything in place should the production be so positive that we surpass the demand for the region that we have. other markets.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has defended the agreement government signed last month with Rainforest Seafoods, a Jamaican-based company which is expected to establish a fish processing facility at Kaliakor. Last week, some details of the agreement were made known, which include a 15-year tax break and other major concessions granted to the company, which have been a talking point of discussion in several quarters. Commenting on the issue on WFM on Sunday, PM Gonsalves sought to explain the government's position and how concessions are granted, which he said are across the board for any company setting up business here in SVG.
Almost all the concessions given to Rainforest Seafoods are concessions given to manufacturers in this country and to hoteliers, people who invest. You take, for instance, I see this thing about 15-year, they invest in $10 million. 15-year concession, tax concession on the profits. Well, if you bring that in a hotel, you get the similar length of concession. You also get for hoteliers and manufacturers. And these people, we must remember, are a packaging entity. Cleaning and packaging, they're taking the raw material and put it together in a way for the market. And they bring in with them expertise and even into the earlier part of our administration. If a manufacturing enterprise is set up, they will get their duty-free concessions on the building materials. They'll get on the equipment. But they wouldn't get on the materials and the spare parts. 5-7 years ago, we changed that policy and I announced it in a budget.
PM Gonsalves further stated that it is not the intention of his government to put local fisherfolk out of business and that they view the collaboration with Rainforest Seafoods as an added boost to the fishing industry, which will be of benefit to all fisherfolk.
They're paying something like $6,700 a month. I don't have the document in front of me, but it is in that region. A month, you know. Now, persons ask about what about the competitors in Beckway and out at Oya. Vincymas are involved in that company, but also an American company is involved in that too. So, you know, I mean, do you think I will go and give away the shop? One of the things I insisted on with Rainforest is that you do not fish at all. Because I want the fisher folk to make money. Already, the price of lobster has gone up because of the activity in Beckway.
Rainforest Seafood SVG Limited will be operating out of Kaliakor. Its parent company has similar operations in several countries in the region. Labor Day or May Day celebrations here in SVG has always been and continues to be a struggle. So says General Secretary of the National Workers Union, Noel Jackson, who was a panelist on the SVG-TV's Viewpoint program last evening. Jackson said that over the years they have been trying to get workers to recognize the day as more than just a public holiday, but it lacks leadership as the umbrella body responsible for leading the charge has not been functioning as it should.
The struggle we have is to get workers to give some special recognition to the day. And we were having activities, we take it to different parts of the country. Sometimes we go to Barley, we go to Kaliakor, and the result was the same. You have 2-3 dozen people coming out and so on and so forth. And then we decide that we're going to basically try something new. So we started what we call a walk and rally. One word. Walk and rally. One word. So you walk, you distribute t-shirts, and you walk and you get to a particular place and you have a rally. It has picked up over the years, but I think there is need for some other elements to be added to it to give it the kind of tone that it ought to have as Workers' Day. I am pleased with this year's turnout. This year we had a pretty good turnout. We had about 300 persons on the road, and that is the biggest yet.
President of the SVG Teachers Union, Wendy Bino, who was also a panelist on the program, said that Labor Day or May Day should be a day of solidarity for workers, but unfortunately, such solidarity does not exist in SVG.
I think one of the reasons is that we have allowed partisan politics, which is really a major challenge, to affect the labor movement in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you know, the muck of party politics has had some effect on this. The teachers union did not participate in the May Day activities this year because we felt that the umbrella body, which is the National Labour Congress, isn't a legitimate one, and we didn't think that we wanted to give legitimacy to something that is not functioning. We've made several attempts to have it functioning, and all our efforts have proved futile. So it is really sad that we can't really come together on this day. As I heard Noel say, maybe next year better things will be put in place, and we are looking forward to that because our union, along with the Public Service Union, have been trying to get an audience so that we can realize the proper functioning of the National Labour Congress.
Another panelist, President for the Employers Federation, Helena Thomas, said in her opinion, employers are celebrating and recognizing the day more than their employees.
I think employers are more adherent and observant of May Day more than the employees, which I find very intriguing. But to add to what you were saying with regards to the tripartite movement, I believe that the fact that we're in a situation now where Labor Day is just a day to go on the beach, to have party and have fun, I believe it's a shared responsibility for the movement that makes up the Tripartite Council, which is the labor, government, and employers bodies. I don't think that enough is being done from each side, from any side, to make sure that, you know, this thing is upheld and celebrated for what it really is, so that the whole idea of Labor Day and the struggle that got us to this is not lost in the celebration of the parties.
Is it unique to St. Vincent?
Environment, health and safety is a topic which many institutions have been paying close attention to in recent times, and the St. Vincent Electricity Services VINLEC is no exception. The company on Friday launched its Environment and Safety Awareness Month at its Kane Hall Power Station. The month of activities are being held under the theme, Safety Ties Us Together, Health and Safety 24/7. The activities are aimed at sensitizing the public on various issues in relation to one's physical health and safety. Speaking at the launch of the month-long activities was VINLEC's Chief Executive Officer Thornley Myers, who said safety at work is both an individual and collective responsibility, which could be achieved by working together. Myers highlighted procedures which were developed by the Transmission and Distribution Department, which he said is of benefit to the entire company.
Is that in the T&D department, there are safety briefings that are taking place every single day before the commencement of work. That's my understanding. This we need to enforce, monitor on it, audit, and make sure it continues to happen, not over the next couple of weeks, not over the next couple of months, but going forward, it should be a part of our exercise. As I said, it has started in the Transmission Distribution Department. I expect that we will improve, and there's some work currently being done. And I expect that in the Generation Department, by the end of this month, it will be done on every occasion, every day, when our employees get together. We do a risk assessment of what we're supposed to do and put the necessary measures in place to ensure we reduce the risk.
Myers said the month-long activities are also being used to remind employees of the importance of taking their own safety and that of their colleagues seriously.
Build awareness of the need for you to continuously remind yourself that you need to work in a safe and efficient manner. So I'm calling on each and every single one of us. Let us recommit ourselves Let us, regardless of where you are in this organization, regardless of what level of risk you think you are exposed to, because you may not think that if you are a member of the secretarial staff that you're exposed to any risk. But many of you are aware that perhaps, I think it was during the last year, we had one of our employees in the administrative section who experienced an injury because the floor was wet. If you're in the power plant, the floor can be greasy because that's an environment where that can occur. So regardless to where you're working, you're at the desk and someone has an extension cord or a computer cable. Simple as that may seem, it could be devastating for an individual and by extension that individual family. Let us all work together in the interest of the collective, in the interest of our country.
A caring, supportive father and a man approachable and loved by all. These were some of the words used to describe the late John Horne at his funeral service held at the St. George's Cathedral in Kingstown on Friday. Horne, who served as parliamentary representative for West Kingstown under the New Democratic Party administration, passed away on Easter Monday, April 22nd. Last Friday, many Vincentians came out to say their final goodbyes to him and extended condolences to his family. One of Horne's daughters and cousins took the opportunity to share some fond memories of a man they held in high esteem.
For the time God lent you to us, you have given so much to this world and to us, and now we must give you back to God. You will be deeply missed, and your memories eternally cherished. I thank you for giving me 4 beautiful sisters and the 9 awesome nieces and nephews. You would always say how happy it made you that your 5 daughters get along. So much so that every visit to your house since your 75th celebration meant reminding me of that beautiful picture of the 6 of us on the middle of your dining room table. Daddy, to many people you were many things, but to me you were just Daddy. My twin in many ways, and the king of my heart after God. Many say that you are a good man, but to me you were the best man. I love you, Daddy.
He was approachable by all, despite their educational, social, political, or economic disposition. He uplifted others. He tried to make their lives better. And this is why he was so passionately loved by his fellow Vincentians. And this is the legacy of Alexander John Clark Horne. Quoting from former NDP leader Mr. Arnim Eustace, John Horne is one for the ages. Again, our family will continue to follow John's blueprint. We will continue to be guided by his template.
Some of his close friends also took the opportunity to share their memories of him.
Our nation is founded on the belief in the supremacy of God. Jehovah God will provide the strength for John's wife Jen, the children, grandchildren, and the rest of the family to cope with this heavy loss. They could find comfort in the fact that John's life was honorably lived. He will not be forgotten. He will not be forgotten. On behalf of the Providence family, I extend sincerest condolences to the family of John Horne. The gentleman John Horne is gone. The gentleman John Horne, our friend, is gone. May he now rest in peace.
Brother John, somebody alluded to you going up to heaven. You see what happened up there when St. Peter see you, when St. Peter see John. You can say, here we comes. Here we come, we've been waiting for you. Pat Prescott inside there, waiting for a bass singer. And then he would ask, St. Peter would say, give me a little sample before you go inside now. And John would say, on for them. May he rest in peace.
25 business owners and operators in the Southern Grenadines will this week be introduced to a new tool that will improve their knowledge and understanding of the financial aspects of their businesses. This as the Center for Enterprise Development Inc., the CED, takes its micro-business game simulation workshop to Union Island from tomorrow, May 7th to 10th at the Ashton Learning Resource Center, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. daily. CED said the overall objective of the micro-business game simulation is to give participants the experience of how to manage a micro-business effectively using an experience-based approach. The agency said it will conduct the workshop as part of the Savings Banks Foundation for International Corporations, Eastern Caribbean Eastern Central Bank, endorsed project to support the strengthening of the financial sector and improvement of access to financial services in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union by small and medium enterprises. The workshop on Union Island comes 1 week after 16 students at the Barley Technical Institute were exposed to the MBG. Following this, from May 14 to 17th, 19 students at the Division of Technical and Vocational Education at the SVG Community College will also be introduced to the MBG simulation training. Since CED introduced the MBG last December, 55 persons have successfully completed the training. Welcome to Carnival Beat. The Carnival Development Corporation, CDC, officially launched Vincymas 2019 on Saturday. The launch at Carnival City Victoria Park attracted hundreds of patrons, with various components of Vincymas highlighted. Larissa Pugs the Kid tells us more in this report.
2, 1, blast off! I declare Vincymas 2019 open!
Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture Cecil Sasnaki was on hand on Saturday night to officially declare Vincymas 2019 open with fireworks at Carnival City Victoria Park. The minister said he is impressed with the packed program of activities that are leading up to Vincymas, which indicates that this year's festival will be grand. He noted too that Vincymas 2019 coincides well with Revival at 40, which is a program of activities being held to mark SVG's 40th anniversary of independence.
Summer festivals were going to be exciting. Both in Betway and Union Island we had large crowds and the events were epic. And that moved right into the month of May, where we had the launch of several of the rural carnivals, including the St. George's Carnival last evening at Calico. Earlier on this afternoon we had the whistle stops and the motorcades into Kingston. And we had the Junior Fete World up at the cruise ship terminal.
Prior to the official opening, Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, Ricky Adams, took the time to remember former Parliamentarian and Culture Minister John Horne, who was laid to rest last Friday. A minute of silence was observed in his honor. Meanwhile, Adams said he anticipates a great showcase from all the components of Vincymas, whether it is in the pans, calypso, mass, or soca.
Creating a buzz across the globe. Our music is at the very top of the international soca standings, and all eyes are on us. The ball is in our court. We can choose to fight each other and drop it, or we can all work together and run with it. I'm confident that our culture can unite us in the goal of making Vincymas the marquee event of the summer festival season.
11 mass bands have so far been confirmed to participate in Vincymas 2019 and were given the opportunity at Saturday's launching event to showcase a bit of what they will be offering to masqueraders. In addition, 7 artists participated in the People's Choice Soca Clash, which was won by Casper G. Vincymas 2019 commences on June 28th to July 9th, 2019. It is being held under the theme, Welcome to Soca Land. Reporting for SVGTV News, Larissa Pugs the Kid.
Meanwhile, the 6 Miss SVG 2019 delegates made their appearance at the launch of Vincymas on Saturday night. They shared a bit of what they are bringing to this year's pageant with the audience.
I am 21-year-old Megan Graves. I am an employee at the Digital SVG Limited, and I am proud to be sponsored by the Vincymas chocolate. I am the number 2 contestant of the 6 beautiful and intelligent young ladies that will be gracing this very stage on the night of June 1st for the Miss SVG 2019. In honor of our Kalinago people, Mabrika Haruna, I am Sonia Delicia, a Camden Park girl, currently residing in Otley Hall. It is with much pride and honor that I stand here tonight under the sponsorship of the #1 telecommunications provider in our region, Flow. I would like to take a brief moment to acknowledge all the staff and my fellow students at the Division of Nursing Education. See you at the show.
Strength, vigor, and tenacity. Give me challenges and I will be your champion. Give me trials and I will show you triumph. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening. Proud to be sponsored by Lotto in this year's Miss SVG 2019. I am Portia Modest.
Carnival lovers, I am a stranger to pageantry, but I am not a stranger to the stage. On Saturday, June 1st, 2019 at 8 p.m. sharp, you have the right to remain silent as I, Police Constable Lavi, arrest the crown and emerge as Miss SVG 2019. See you there.
To embrace the pursuit of those dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Sharika Rodney, the 20-year-old goddess of Artemis, hailing from the irrepressible community of Greeks, do now declare that I have met the criteria. I possess the qualities that queens are made of, and I am ready to reign as Miss SVG 2019. It is an honor to be sponsored by the Mustique Company Limited, and on June 1st, contestant number 5 will be the only match that ignites the fire for an unforgettable season. This is Sokaland.
And talented people, I am 24-year-old Felica Thomas, Senior Quality Assurance Technician at Eastern Caribbean Bottlers Inc. I am proudly sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited. The Massey Stores founder contestant number 6. I implore you to come out on June 1st to witness a competition so intense, it will leave you breathless.